This video series offers instruction on different meditation techniques. This is video 22 of 24. Labeling thoughts. The fundamental purpose of meditation is to master the mind. And through the process, we begin to understand the nature of the mind. And with this insight, we're able to go about purifying the mind, even at the most subtlest levels. We master the mind by first learning how to concentrate our attention. And when we're able to allow our attention to flow without interruption, then this is meditation. Of course, it's natural that we might be distracted from time to time. But it's our job when we're sitting to meditate to notice any time that we become distracted and to simply redirect our attention back to the object of focus. And in this way, through this process, we're able to enter into longer periods of flowing meditation. Throughout this process, we're continuously confronted and challenged by the natural tendency of the mind to jump around and find distraction, while we're endeavoring to sit still and experience our own inner peace. Our minds are throwing at us thoughts and ideas and feelings and memories and a whole range of different stories. Now, while we're using any other technique, we simply ignore these stories, ignore these mental happenings, and return our attention back to the object of focus. However, with this technique which I'm about to explain to you now, the process is slightly different. In this technique, we sit in the silence, and when a thought, an idea, a memory, or a story of any kind interrupts the silence, we don't ignore it. We use it as a point of focus. We use the thought as a point of focus. When we're meditating, we're directing our attention to the silence. And when a thought arises, it's most likely going to have its reference to something in the past or something in the future. The thought might be occurring in the present moment, but it's going to be based on a past reality or a future reality. So when we're using this technique, we're sitting in the silence, we're directing our attention to the silence. A thought will arise, and then we just need to identify whether that thought is based in the past or the future. We label it, past or future, then we let the thought disappear and redirect our attention back to the silence once again. It might not always be possible to identify how a thought relates to a past event or a future event, but a thought quite often demonstrates a preference in favor of something or against something. A thought might have an attachment towards a specific experience and an aversion against a specific experience. So while you're sitting in meditation, directing your attention to the silence, a thought arises and you can identify whether it's an attachment or an aversion. And then just let the thought go and redirect your attention to the silence once again. So to summarize the technique in short, it's your objective to sit and to experience your own inner silence. When anything arises that might distract you from that experience, it's your job to notice and to label whether it's in relation to the past or the future, or an attachment or an aversion. And that's it. And every time a thought arises, you simply label it and let it fall away. The next thought arises, the same, label it and let it fall away. And this technique really helps to discipline the mind as well as purify it.